Hey, Stan Prokopenko here. Welcome to another episode of Proko. You should watch my previous video in which I cover some anatomy and structure of the lips. If you want to look at the reference photo while you watch me draw, just find this post on proko.com and it's just below the video. The lay-in. With lips, I start my lay-ins with the landmarks. Find the width and angle of the lips by indicating the corners. Since she's looking slightly away from us to the left, the center line will curve out and to the left. This will help me find the placement of the top of the tubercle and bottom of the bottom lip. With the landmarks in place, let's think about those squishy little pillows. Remember how in the last video I said that there are 3 at the top and 2 at the bottom? On her, the tubercle is flat and you can barely see it. This is actually quite common. The tubercle is just a fatty tissue, so its prominence will vary. The wings on the side of her lips are very round and easy to see. The 2 pads on the lower lip are very subtle and kinda hard to see. 2 values. When I start shading a drawing, I like to first determine the angle from which the light source is coming from. This will help me visualize what values to make each plane. If the plane is facing the light, it will be lighter. If it's facing away, it will be darker, and everything in between. To figure out the direction of the light source, I mainly just look at 2 things. First, the cast shadows. The bottom lip is casting a shadow on the left side of the chin, so I know the light source is at the top right. But it's not too far to the right, it's very close to center. The other indication of the direction of the light source is the highlight. It's on the right side of the lip towards the top, same as the light source. So all the planes that are facing down and to the left are in shadow. Now, notice how there is actually a second light source coming directly from the left. This secondary light source isn't as bright as the main light source, and for now, I'm going to ignore it. Most of the volume is defined by the main light source, so I'll focus on that first. The sides of the top lip face down and are in shadow, but as we get closer to the middle, her top lip gets very round and the top portion actually points up at the light source. So the core shadow in this case is towards the bottom in the middle and along the top ridge on the sides. Going full value with dark accents. The darkest accents on the lips will almost always be in the corners, along the crease, core shadows, and just under the bottom of the bottom lip. When defining the crease, make sure to think about the overlapping forms, and vary your line weight so it doesn't just look like an outline. Halftones and highlights. The top lip, even though it curves and points up, doesn't curve enough to point directly at the light source, like the bottom lip. So the entire lit area of the top lip will be a darker value halftone, with gradations to define the roundness of the squishy little pillows. Add some gradations to define the bottom lip. I want the highlight to be bright and sharp, so I need to make sure the halftones around it are dark enough to make the highlight stand out. Once you start making your halftones dark, double check to make sure that the shadows are significantly darker, so that the halftones don't start looking like shadows. The corners of the lips have a slight gradation, but the bean shape of the nose is not very prominent on her. I'll define the plane changes of the region above the top lip. I'm going to take out the cast shadow from the nose. I feel like it would look strange there without a nose casting it, and instead I'll define the planes of the philtrum. The area under the lips will be mostly halftone since these planes face down. Now I'll add that secondary light source and make sure it stays in a supporting role and doesn't become the main character. Finally, let's clean up some edges and shapes. I'll go through the drawing one more time and do some cleanup work to define things a little better. Alright, so I'm going to be giving this drawing away. If you'd like a chance to win, go to proko.com and subscribe to the free mailing list to get occasional updates and be notified of new videos. I'll pick a winner from my email list on October 26th, and I'll post the name of the winner below this video. Good luck! Hey, if you like this video, your friends might too. Please help me out and share this video on your favorite social network. And don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter on proko.com.